Hello and welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers. This is Joe Justice. I am here with Chris. Chris, tell me, buddy, what's your hustle?
Hey, I own Integrity Insurance Group right here in Charleston, West Virginia.
So tell me a little bit, there's a lot of insurance companies around. Tell me a little bit about the state of play in the insurance industry.
Insurance is really fascinating right now. The market is all over the place. Fortunately, we've got two new carriers ready to come into West Virginia. One's going to open in June, one's going to open in July, bringing a little bit more competition to be able to help us get you better rates and get you the coverage you need.
Can you tell us who it is?
Yeah, we've got Geico opening for personal lines to all the independent agents in West Virginia coming up, and Foremost Choice 360 is now in. They bought MetLife's personal lines products, and they're opening up to agencies throughout the state.
So how long have you been in business here?
We've been in business since 2019. I've been in the insurance industry since 2010, broke off and opened up my own agency.
Oh, that's great. Well, you're the perfect kind of person I like to talk to because I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people starting out. So if you were to go back and tell yourself getting started, what's the one lesson, the one big thing that you would go back and tell yourself in 2019?
Yeah, whenever we look at it, it's about finding a niche, finding something really, really strong in. So in our agency, we have people that specialize in personal lines. We have people that specialize in workers' compensation and business insurance for business owners. We have people that specialize in trucking. Really try to find your niche, get really, really good at it, get the education on it so you can make sure people are covered correctly.
Talk to me a little bit about, I talk to people a lot about niching and finding their niche and stuff. And a lot of people, well, I do everything. Why is that? Why does that actually make things more difficult?
If you try to be an expert in everything, you're really an expert in nothing. So I always try to make sure to get the expertise and what I really want to focus on. And there's enough business, if you're really great at it, to be able to make a great life for yourself.
And from a marketing standpoint, a lot of the things with niches is you'll find specific needs of your niches, right? You'll be able to speak directly to them. And if you speak kind of specifically to them, you actually get this kind of weird superpower where you can kind of talk broadly and they think that you're speaking directly to them. Is that right?
That's right, absolutely. Like, for example, in trucking, you can talk about different types of insurance things that they run into and educate them on how to deal with the FCMSA or the DOT, the federal government regulations, because you learn all that as you become niched in it. So you actually help the client be able to do other things in their business and also help them be insured. It's really cool as you learn and become more, of an expert in your field.
And that kind of gives you that consultative approach where they're kind of seeking you out for advice?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I had one client ask me how to get an FEIN number, so something really simple that had nothing to do with insurance whatsoever, but we wanted to help his business get going. People come to insurance agents when they're getting going, right? And there's a lot of questions of what to do when you're getting going, and we learn how to answer those questions, become a full service for somebody.
Great. And then beyond that, talk to me a little bit about just kind of, it's the Kanawha Valley Hustlers. I talk a lot about hustlers, the daily grind, that type of stuff. What's your daily grind routine look like?
Well, whenever I come into the office, first thing I do is I meet with my staff, talk to them, see what's going on, see what we've missed, what changes we need to make. Because really, as a business owner, if you don't have that relationship with your staff, if you don't have that open communication, you're really missing out on some great insights to make your business better.
How important is it to have a good relationship with you? Are they just work for you and they should be happy getting a paycheck, or should there be a little bit more of a relationship?
We are much different here. We are a family-style office. You can ask any of my employees, a lot of which are single mothers, a lot of which are, trying to provide for their families as well. I always tell them, if your kid has an event and you're at work instead of being with your kid at the event, you're doing us an injustice. You need to be there for your kids while they're young. You need to be there for them when they're going through these things. You only get to experience that stuff once in life. Sure. I break down the day in 3 ways. You sleep, you're at work, and then you're at home. 8 hours, 8 hours, and 8 hours. That's your 24. If you hate 1/3 of your life while you're at work, then what's the point? So go somewhere you love, create an environment that you love. You'll be able to work and do even better.
That's great. And so tell me a little bit more, dig a little bit more into your daily grind. What's it like for you?
Oh, man, answering calls all day, sometimes putting out fires. In every single business, there are issues that come up, and you try to talk to the individual, work through it, find a way to come to a resolution. I'm helping look at quotes different agents are doing, making sure they have all the coverages and places they need to go before they present it to a client, and then just encouraging people to do better in the office, find things that they need, find ways they can tweak things to make it easier on them. If it's not easy on your employees doing what they're doing, they're not going to like what they're doing. So I always ask them, what tools can I give you? How can I provide you things to make your job easier? Because if it's easier for them, they're going to like it more, they're going to get more accomplished, and things are just going to go better in the office.
Awesome. And then as we're kind of wrapping up here, I know you're plugged in a lot with the Kanawha Valley and what's happening around. So give me your assessment. What's the state of play for the Kanawha Valley?
Yeah, I think the Kanawha Valley is facing a lot of issues moving forward. I think there's some very great bright spots, but there's some issues that we see as well. I talk about the mall a lot, right? We see stores closing in the mall, and there's actually a reason for that. The company that bought the the Charleston Mall, bought it as a tax write-off. Every time a store closes, they get to put on their taxes loss of rents. Every time they board up a store, they claim loss of retail space. They've got successful malls in other states, and then they're just tanking our mall here so they can get the tax deduction. We see that, and no one's doing anything about it. There's a lot of other things going on in Charleston with a little bit of the homeless situation that we need to take care of, make sure to help these individuals as they move on to the next steps in life. We see some businesses coming to downtown Charleston, the Kanawha County area, but we see more happening in the Eastern Panhandle, more happening in Morgantown, more happening in Wheeling and Weirton and those areas than what's happening here. We really need to get people off the interstate. If you're on the interstate, everyone that drives by have license plates from other states. We have nothing that says, hey, come downtown, see Adelphia. Come downtown and go to, Pies and Pints. Nothing trying to get them off the interstate. We really need to do a better job of bringing people off the interstate to discover what we love here, this area in Charleston and Kanawha County.
Great. Awesome. Chris, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching and listening. This is Joe Justice, the Kanawha Valley Hustler, reminding you to hustle hard, hustle smart, and hustle with a smile.